Now, the problem of accounting for consciousness in the absence of the Ding an sich, in the apparent absence of an external world, is what the phenomenology of Geist is all about. In other words, it's an attempt at a Hegelian solution to a Kantian problem. And the problem is, how is it possible, or what intelligibility can be lent to the idea that mind creates everything? Well, once you lose the Ding an sich, then there is only mind generating the form and content of consciousness. This mind is not static, as Kant would have us believe. Hegel believes that the actual categories of human cognition develop over time. So there is a temporal dynamism here which allows for change and allows for the growth of consciousness, and by implication this growth of consciousness is teleological. The opening point will turn out to be the finitude of consciousness, and the end point will turn out to be infinite consciousness. And this is the progress of the Geist through history. This development of consciousness is in fact the development of self-consciousness. You're generating the whole world, so what else could it be but the development of self-consciousness? Nothing else but you and your consciousness, or the consciousness of the Geist as a whole, and you are a small fragment of that. So what we are looking at here in the phenomenology of Geist is first of all a phenomenology. The world is mind, or if reality is mind, or if reality is Geist, then naturally, since the content of mind or Geist is rationality, what could the world be but a rational process, assuming that it's temporal and dynamic and changes over time? So this is what the apparently very obscure and implausible proposition that the world is a rational process, that's what it means. In other words, the world is the development of mind, and which means that mind is temporalized. And Hegel says, yes, that is exactly what it is. The whole history of philosophy is the coming to self-knowledge of the Geist, and it comes to this knowledge starting with just the external world and its own understanding and comprehension of that world, and moves in a gradual dialectical progression, generating contradictions and generating impasses. And the end, the telos, the purpose of these cogitations is to complete uncontradictory and absolute final self-consciousness. But the idea here is that Hegel is describing the spiritual odyssey of Western man. And because Hegel believes that ontogeny recapitulates phylogeny, he is also talking about his own spiritual odyssey from an early, naive, pre-philosophical view to the position he finds himself in at the end of his life, where he believes, perhaps mistakenly, that the entire history of Western thought leads up to him and his writing desk.